We are live. Well, good evening, gentlemen. How are we all?
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
All right.
Good.
Yeah, not too bad.
Been up to anything interesting this week, or
Nothing spectacular. I had
I
CPC
went to-
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, which
Oh,
was
lovely.
always riveting. Apart from that, yeah, it wasn't too bad.
I had a nice day at 9.
Really.
Hey up, guys. Lee and Lisa's new channel have got
Yeah.
they've got a couple of videos out, so definitely worth going and having a look and watching that.
Yeah,
What
I
have I
watched
done
it
this
earlier.
week? 4 new tyres on the car.
Oh,
That's all right. I had Motability, so I don't have to pay for them.
mobility in it. Yeah. Thankfully.
Yes, they
But
were.
would have been
They
been
were
£110 a tyre.
140 a tyre.
Oh.
So I'm glad I didn't have to pay for those.
Mm.
Evening, David.
Hey, Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Yeah,
How
right,
did
Lee.
you his tabs must have been burning because I was talking about him before we went live.
Yeah.
Yeah, apart from that, no, I haven't been up to much this week. So apart from a few new bits, but which we'll talk about soon. As you can see, Tyler decided not to turn up for the show because he's busy off playing with his pickle.
Pickle Festival, wasn't it?
And I'll let you guys make all the fun in the world out of that you like. He's off playing with his pickle somewhere.
And if he does turn up, make even more fun out of him.
I'll guarantee I will.
We're definitely going to.
A pickle festival, honestly. But anyway, so he's off playing with his pickle. And he isn't in with us at the minute anyway because he didn't buy something that we bought this week. So because they don't do it in pink and he wanted it in pink. Oh, you've seen the video, so you know.
He's subscribed to that channel anyway, Matt.
Only pickle.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe looking earlier, like I said before we went live, I couldn't believe it's been 17 years since Sophie Lancaster incident where Sophie was murdered. And I'm pretty sure I haven't checked what annoys me about that. And so I'm starting off moaning already, but what annoys me about that whole incident is what those people did to Sophie and her boyfriend. They're all out of prison.
Yeah.
That family's, you know, I mean, their mum passed away, what, a few months ago, wasn't it, or last year sometime? Her mum passed away.
No, it was 2 years ago.
Yes, Dave, I am moaning, but it is for a good reason. The whole Sophie Lancaster thing, and that is something that people need to support. Just because somebody is different in whatever way you're different, so what? So what? Don't matter. And they do a lot of good, the Sophie Lancaster Trust. That's the way of the world.
Yeah, murdered just because they were goths.
Ah, young Stevie's arrived.
Yep.
It's getting to the point where I am learning the whistle so I can whistle him ashore now. I can pipe him aboard and off the ship when he comes on land. See?
Well,
Yes, we are the wrong type of diverse. It is true, yeah. The woke community doing their job again, Lee, you know.
The woke community can go and do one.
I'm not even getting into the other stuff with the ongoing situation with the idiots.
Oh, the ongoing saga of Generation, yeah.
Who half of it are only doing it so they can rob shops and nick fucking bottles of wine and Prosecco and... Oh, I'm not whistling Captain Pugwash. I'll try it for next week. There you go. Why are you
Eventually, my son's decided that he's wanting to piss about.
He's dangling his ball in your camera. Oh, I think it needs bringing up, Lee, anything to do with Sophie. It needs to be remembered, that whole incident and what was done, especially at the minute with everything that's going on with these idiots who don't seem to be able to work out fake news and real news and diversity of race. But
believe.
You know, it's ridiculous at the minute, but
yeah, we live in a diverse nation.
And well, yeah, and a government and news system who are intent on creating more and more fake, malicious news to cause terror. So, where we're going to end up with that, I don't know, but I really don't. So.
I was forgetting this as a hard floor for the resistance. So a 0.098 want fire.
Yes, I have a few thoughts on the government at the moment as well, Lee, but that's not doing it on the show on here, right? Yeah. Yeah. Definitely Yeah. Yeah. There's a few words to describe them. So, what have we been buying this week, you two?
I might have bought the Blaze Max.
Blaze Max.
Yep. I have to say,
it's a damn good vape.
David. Language, David.
Not going to argue with you, though, Dave.
No, you're not wrong. No, you're quite right, Dave. You're quite right. And you're Lee. So you guys are on a watch list deal. Yeah, I agree. You were being polite, Dave. There's many other terms you could have used for that, and
I must admit, I did think it was funny when they went into a pub and the owner of the pub was shouting at them, "Get out!" I thought that was quite funny.
Yeah, saying to Keir Starmer, "Get that right above."
I thought that was quite funny.
He's within his rights with it being his business to not serve that person.
Totally.
That man deserves that. I'll go happily drinking that man's pub.
I mean, the other one I liked was someone posted a meme that said, "My father was a toolmaker." The obvious response to that was, he certainly was.
Yes.
Mm.
You one of them, Stevie. I can recommend the Armour Max as a mod, good mod, but I can also highly recommend that tank. Really, really can.
Oh, yeah.
Will it take power? Yeah. Yes, I've already tested that, and you can pump silly power through it without, and it keeps up. So definitely up there.
Yeah.
Build quality's bang up there.
Build quality's really good. Flavor's bloody good.
I'd say it's
build.
At the moment, unless something special happens, I'd say that's probably my favourite tank. Okay, Dave, there's a couple of things make it stand out. If you want me to go a little bit, and I don't do reviews, obviously, you know that, Dave, but actual opening and shutting it, even with my hands, so, arthritic hands, it's easy. It's easy to open and shut. Airflow is not loose, but it opens easily and it opens well. The actual Allen key or screw to get a screwdriver in are easily visible. You can see them, you can get to them easily. Coil placement is simply a matter of get the right length, drop the coils in, you're done. Wicking, cut it to length, drop it in.
Yep.
It has been around for years, but how many times, Dave, has it gone between either too tight, whereas you have to literally get hold of the mod and push to get it on, or it's almost you almost can spin it off with one like a touch of your finger. I think they've got it spot on. Personally, it's also, I think, it is anti-leak as well. I don't think it will leak. It probably would if you underwicked it enough. I think you could get it to leak. Maybe. But it'll be hard. You'd be doing a Vic, holding it upside down.
No, you'd have to leave it laid on its side for half an hour.
I would say, Dave, the quality of the fit and finish. Because let's be honest, Dave, you know this through reviewing. Really, there isn't anything left to do with tanks. It's been done. At the end of the day, you're dealing with electric, cotton, coil, e-liquid. That's it. There's only so much you can do. It works. It does a good job.
And Mike nailed the airflow with the original Blaze.
Yeah.
All they've
done is just make the deck a little bit bigger. Yeah.
They've taken what works and just bumped it up just a little bit. Yeah. But then again, it's personal preference. You might do it, Dave. Oh, that's not a problem, Dave. You might vape on it and think, no, I don't like that. Don't like the way it vapes. It's personal choice. It's opinion. How it vapes is opinion. Build quality for the price is good. Much better than some other products that I've had and that I've seen, like some of the Voltro stuff that is very expensive, and it appears their quality is not quite as good as some people say. So, your opinion counts for nothing, David. Don't start, David. I'll tell your mother. But it is, that's all it is how does something vape it's literally, that's down to the person who's vaping it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like one of us likes it, doesn't mean everybody will.
Like you say there, Steve, the quality from the Mike Vape stuff's always good.
Don't you excite me, David. You'll be a punch up in a minute. I'll nick one of your slippers. And you can pack it in. You can pack it in as well, Armitage. Oh dear.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for one of the other reviewers to do a review of it. That's what I'm waiting for. Because one of them's going to have they're going to come out with something. Yeah, exactly. Davros will exterminate. You wait while I get my Hayabusa powered wheelchair, then you're fucked.
Tell you what, Dave, hardly anybody does now.
Yeah.
There was very few who did proper reviews in the first place, Dave. Let's be honest, who weren't being bought off by the companies. One of them obviously was you, Dave, because at least I know for a fact you didn't like something. You say it. You'd say it was
you did, yeah.
Which is how it should be. Whereas there are other reviewers that I could think of. I will have a go at you.
Of a Scottish persuasion.
Well, both, yeah.
Precisely.
And a few others, quite a few others, who I personally find have been, I wouldn't say bought out, but they certainly had reviews well paid for.
All right, Lisa.
Hey, Elise. Yeah, I did, Stevie, because at least with Dave would say, what I found it interesting was Dave put it on that spin of it of, he said about what something was like to work on if you had arthritis in your hands.
Yeah.
If something was fiddly. Now, I know there's a lot of youngsters who haven't got that problem, but there's also a lot of older people who have got that problem.
Mm-hmm.
And there is nothing worse than trying to rebuild a tank and dropping screws every 2 seconds because it's... So, yeah, it's important, the build quality.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think a lot of people like Dave's honesty.
You know, might not look a lot, but those screwdrivers are so accurate. They just make rebuilding easy, and the grip on them is fantastic.
I still say the best thing that you and I ever bought was that.
Yeah.
Because it was at the time that everybody in the UK, reviewer-wise, there was a UK version of this. Different make, everything. Basically the same product, though. And they were saying, oh, it's only 50 quid. Yeah, well, Bill and I did not pay anywhere near 50 quid for these. I'll tell you now, anywhere near. And the quality of it is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. It's about £9.80.
I think it was, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he did, Stevie. And the good thing was Dave did a tank. The Shenray, was it the Shenray Elite? Elite? Yeah. And the only other reviewers I know who did that, there was Dave did it, and a couple of Russian reviewers. Nobody else in the UK did it. And that, for a single coil tank, had the best flavour you've ever had. It was unbelievable. Yeah, no worries, Lee. I'll sort that out. Well, it'd be ideal for you as well, Lee, with anything to do with guitars, because it's basically, I mean, the same thing. You know, you're dealing with small screws and so on. And everything. He literally, it's just, it's all in there. And it's got a lot of the security screws and stuff in there as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's from China.
It's even got the small size spanners.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those products that you think, oh, it can't be that good. But after you've had it a while, you'll notice that's all you tend to use. Some of them are, Stevie. Some of them agree with you.
I did see that Rajan shared on Instagram that SR Vapes are selling the Raga, Aspire Raga, for 50 quid at the moment.
That's ironic, isn't it? The Brown National Party,
but
trying to flog the Raga.
Yeah, but that was only 40 quid. And included an RA and a stock coil deck.
You know, I quite like Boros and AIOs. I'm just trying to set Dave off there.
It's coming.
Come on, Dave. He's typing.
There we go. There we go. That
a lot of them have got stupid, Stevie, especially stuff like the Stubby, because it's to do with Bogan. That adds 80 quid to the price of it, or 100 quid.
And it wasn't cheap anyway.
I've heard a lot of problems with the Stubby. Quite a few people I've heard about have had issues with them.
Yeah.
David, blood pressure, Dave. Oh. Hey, last we knew, you were using an AIO, so
wasn't using the Aspire box.
He was.
He was.
Which has the same RBA for that the Raga has.
Yeah. The Ragga's Ragga's quite a nice looking little mod, and for 50 quid. I take it your mouth's longing on it then, Dave. With your tobacco. I'm presuming you're still making your tobacco like you always used to. All this abusive language I have to put up with. That's it, Stevie. You creep. Yeah. You be Uncle Dave's good little boy. Brought teacher an apple. Yeah. Watermelon. That's unusual for you, Dave. That's different.
I was thinking that.
His tastes have changed a bit.
Yeah. I'll say, if I've got a complaint with this, if I've got one complaint with the Blaze Max, I get through too much e-liquid with it. It's a 7 mil tank and I'm emptying 5 mil tank.
Dave was on zero Nick, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, Lee, I am used to it. I'm quite used to it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Having a good week. In one way, yeah, I've had a good week. Did too much walking on Friday.
Well, you can't really moan at that, Dave. That's I always like the price when it's free. It's always a good price. Though.
Yeah. Makes it more affordable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday, is it? You going?
Good luck with that, Steve.
Yeah, I hope everyone goes okay with that, Steve.
Yeah. I had eye surgery 18 months ago.
I take it you're having the same that I'd had done. You've got the fuzzy eye thing going on, the foggy bit. Because that's what I had mine done on my left eye. It's a weird sensation, I tell you. I'm not good with my eyes anyway, anybody being near them, but that's not bad at all, Dave. Hold on, are you taking review samples and telling them you're a reviewer still?
Yeah, it could be that he's going to do a video on them anyway.
We're still waiting for him to do a review on the Steamcrave Titan V1 tank from about 5 years ago. That's up on the shelf gathering dust. It's all I will say, Stevie, is it's an experience. It's not as bad as you think. It's just that anxiety of seeing them, your eyeball and coming towards you to think, what? But
yeah,
it's not
whenever I would usually jump whenever the puff of air. When you get your eyes tested, which I've got on Thursday.
Well, when they do the operation, they're washing it all the time, and they make a small incision. As I'm sure Stevie knows all this. When they do it, you feel sort of a pressure on your eye, but there's no pain as such. It's very, very strange. And the worst thing when it's done is it feels like somebody's poked you in the eye. That's about the worst thing. It's not pain as such. You'll be fine, Stevie.
yeah.
You'll have your eye patch to go with your leg and your parrot. You're sorted.
Is that cataract, Steve?
He's slowly turning into Captain Jack Sparrow off Wish, isn't he?
Timo.
Yeah. I just hope he gets some better news with the.
He's turning into Captain Jack Sparrow's dad.
He's turning into Keith Richards.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, dear. I know Stevie's getting on a bit now, but he ain't that old. No one is that old. Not even Dave.
Yeah, I mean, Keith Richards already worn out 3 portraits.
Oh, bless her. I don't think the cataracts is. It's more the fear because it's your eyes. I think it's you get what's in your head. You're thinking, hold on a minute, and I did the worst thing, of course. I googled how they do it. Brave Britain. Oh, I'll see what they do, and then watch the video. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, it's not bad. I'll tell you what, though, it does make a difference with your vision.
Yeah.
Well, a friend of mine had sent me when I was looking into getting my vasectomy. Very kindly sent me a video of a vasectomy. I think I watched about 2 minutes of it and then turned it off.
You know who your mates are when you get videos like that, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Like it was the first incision. It's like, oh, no more.
Yeah, that's enough of that.
Yeah, no. Stop.
Dave, you've been in your second childhood for years.
Dave, are you sure you actually left your first one?
I think he did briefly somewhere in sort of about mid-70s, 1970s. Then probably by the mid-90s, he started to decline back into childhood. He didn't.
Yeah, I had mine done under general anaesthetic. So, of course, with the feeling of the all the poking and prodding downstairs and the feeling of the irritation in the throat with the thing down my throat. Yeah, it wasn't nice.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, don't remind me, I've got to go for the camera again soon.
Oh, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
You see, Dalek mode is very few have Dalek mode.
So I'm just dreading Thursday.
Well, what are you doing Thursday?
I've got a big birthday.
Oh, yeah, you're 75 this year, aren't you?
90? Get it right.
Dave's going backwards with age.
Mm.
I mean, he's been dribbling for years, but...
No, that's how he gets his slippers wet.
You got to look on the bright side. At least you've made another birthday. No.
Well, yeah.
$60 for the fourth. Got to be the fourth 500th time. Age is just a number. I just wish the fucker had stopped going up at times.
Mm.
Has anybody actually seen anything else that they want to buy vape-wise? Because
I'm interested in the Vapors Cloud mod.
Yeah.
But I think I'll wait for the price to drop a bit on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 90 quid at the minute, isn't
it? 80.
Is it 80?
80 for the kit, I think, yeah. Mm.
The thing is, I don't want the kit because I have no use whatsoever for a stock coil tank.
Yeah.
Mm.
Stock coil a lot of people seem to be going back to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I hit the same problem every time with stock coil.
Mm. Well, made a cancel.
Yep.
I just don't get the flavour from a stock coil as I do building myself.
No, not at all.
There's been a few stock coil devices, lower powered ones that have been good. Yeah, no, you're about right, Dave. There's nothing really that has. There's been a few things. There's been a few tanks come out, A few Boro mods, which I know you're not a big fan of. Actual mod-wise, they've done a new version of the Lost Fates Aerion.
Yeah.
That looks exactly the same as the first one.
But that's a 253 chip in it.
Yeah.
As opposed to the 166 chip that was
They
already in it.
re-released that. The only thing that came out that I like is that, but that's been out ages.
Yes.
October, I think that was released, wasn't it?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else mod-wise, and the Vapors Cloud one.
Was it the Aspect?
There's got to be something else. Got to be. Come on.
I've just not seen anything that's caught my eye.
Haven't Vaporesso released something else?
Yeah, they've got a new cross coming out in a couple of days.
They've a couple of they've a new single and dual battery mod coming out.
It'll be a rehash of
of the old. The new Gen XS or something like that.
6024. Yeah.
Yeah, which was originally not going to be available in the UK, but they are now bringing it to the UK. Yeah.
I don't think the Maxus was a bad mod, to be honest, though. For what? Because you don't. I know you don't vape at particularly high wattage, so it's ideal for you. It'll give you good battery life.
Still using the Maxus 200 mod.
I'm trying to think of other stuff, new stuff that's coming, and there's nothing. Like Dave said, most of it is just a rehash of old stuff.
And the good thing about the FreeMax stuff is the older coils still fit the new ones.
Yeah.
Look at us with vaping content.
Don't push it. Don't push it. It'll all get derailed in a minute and go wrong. The only thing I can think that's come out that I actually was impressed with is the little Yeehee.
I haven't managed to get any of the new pods yet.
I don't see why you need them, to be honest. Why do you need juice for?
See, well, I've had leakage with the other pods.
I haven't.
I'm glad you said with the pods.
The last 0.6 that I put in leaked like a bugger. I don't know whether because I forced the liquid in too much, but it pissed at the bottom when I filled it.
I had no issues like that, but I know a few other people have had it.
Yeah, I know that Grim Green had some issues with the pods.
But there's also the ones with the juice flow control, and there's the blue pods for it as well.
Yeah, which are slower wicking, yeah.
Which is ideal if you're using a 50-50 juice.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, Stevie, I think there was a lot of reviewers that already sort of couldn't be asked doing reviews anyway. There was a hell of a lot of them just seem to have given up doing reviews because they just couldn't be bothered. Partly because nobody was particularly paying any attention to a lot of them. And then there were certain reviewers who you could tell were being given extra money and other things to say nice things about certain mods. I think you should go and chew on your slipper, Dave. A full in-depth review. There's nothing really to the review. It's an RTA. It wicks well. It gives good flavour.
It's easy to build.
It's easy, yeah. What else do you need to know? Do you want me to set a download camera up and go the whole Vic and try putting a 3.5mm coiling rod through a 3mm coil? I don't have the patience to do reviews. It's just nah. I don't see half of the reviews that are done are pointless.
The problem is, Matt, you and I both look at a tank's design and go, yeah, that looks all right. Or, no, that looks like shit.
Yeah.
That's going to have a problem with such and such.
Does it work? Does it work? Does it give good flavour? Yep. All right, I do.
But also, you two also go down the lines of, is it easy for me to use? I.e., get the top cap off for when you need to refill it, because you've both got lots of feeling in your fingers.
Yeah.
Hi, William.
Hey, William.
So you think, and Dave did that as well.
Yeah. Have you got a note, William?
Yeah. No, the dog ate it. I just think it's reviewers in particular. They concentrate on everything, but they don't concentrate on the things that they could be doing, like how easy is it to build for people who, with arthritis or problems building with their hands. How easy is it to see where the screws are on the build deck? Because there's been some really good tanks that have had really good flavour, but that are complete arsehole to build over the years.
Yeah.
Some of the OBS stuff was like that.
Well, that can be a pain in the ass to build the FP.
Yeah.
Really good flavour, but it's a bugger to build, and if you get the wicking wrong, it leaks like a sieve.
There's no need to call me a wanker. I know what I am, thank you, David.
I must admit, I never had any of the OBS stuff.
The issue was
and swore never again because
they did the OBS version 2. they came up with this great idea of doing the build deck, so you had to put the coils in. It was reversed, so the coils went upwards.
Oh, that one,
upwards.
Yeah.
Upwards, Dave. Upwards. And you had to hold the coil straight while you screwed it in. No, I never. No, David, I never managed to get it in my mouth. That is not how I did my back. I do have shortcomings. This conversation's rapidly gone downhill. Yes, V for victory.
What was that, Winston?
Oh, yes.
V for victory.
Yes. Yes. V for victory, Dave. I do think that the way some tanks have been built over the years, the design has been poorly thought out on certain stuff. Very poorly. And very poorly engineered on some.
A few of them have tried to do something different that hasn't worked anyway.
Yeah.
That's it. I've got one tank up there. I can't remember which one it is. But the way it's designed, you could screw the tank together and cross the threads and it would screw down perfect. As soon as you go to undo it, forget it. Nothing was going to shift that.
There's been a few like that over the years, to be fair, aren't there? You know.
Will you look at the...
It's the Mage.
Yeah.
What, the original Mage?
Yeah.
Or the V2?
The original Mage with the... It just had a slot to put your wick in. It was a Genesis deck with a slot to put your wick in. And you could screw it down and it would go in 180 degrees out. And it would screw down square.
Shenray Elite, that was like it. When you built that, you put it on, back turn it a few turns till you heard it go dunk, click, then start your thread very carefully until you knew you had the proper thread. Because you could cross thread that tank so easy. The Blotto I never had an issue with. Never had an issue with the Blotto.
No, I didn't have an issue with the Blotto either.
Yeah, I've got a Reload 26.
Yeah,
I like the reloads.
I had one issue with the Blotto. For some reason, it used to choke a third of the coil.
Yeah,
the coil would clean, but a third of the coil would just choke.
You have to build those. What I discovered with the Blotto, and I still use the Blotto Max because I've got it here, is you have to build them really, really low, close to the deck. Really close. To the point where you actually, if you hold it up at a light, you can only just see it, a bit of light.
Yeah.
Because they put that stupid like dome design in the actual airflow, if you remember. In the base of the tank. What he should have done is gone, instead of convex, he's gone concave.
Or like Mike's done with the double curves.
And one of the first tanks to go with the curves was the Shenray Elite. And they're all saying, oh, yeah, it was the Blotto that did that. No, it fucking wasn't. Shenray Elite. Shenray Elite had that about a year before anyone else. But of course, all of these famous, star reviewers ignored the Shenray Elite because most of them didn't have it. And I wish I still had mine because it was a cracking tank. It really was. Loved the design of it. It just needed the threads, the pitch on the threads to be a little bit coarser. Better O-rings in it. And that was probably been about it. That's probably about all you needed to change. And you'd have had a tank that would still now people would be going on about. But for me, and it's a love-hate thing, is Steamcrave stuff. I love Steamcrave because you can bung loads of power through them. But the build quality of Steamcrave stuff is absolutely shit. I'm sorry. Steamcrave, the quality of the metal they use in their products is disgusting.
Yeah. Well, you look at the two Aromizer Plus V2s that I've got. The top caps are welded onto the other ring.
I remember us quite a few times we've said this where you said, "Oh, the top cap stock. You got any ideas how I can get it off?" And we've said, have you tried heating it? Have you tried freezing it? We've tried freezing, heating.
Yeah.
We haven't quite gone to getting a welding torch out and weld,
But then the thing is, then you think, oh, I'll get the pliers to it, but you can't put the pliers to it in too much force because you bend the fucking inside out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the other thing is, like, I always now with Steamcraft stuff always change the Allen key headed bolts out to flatheads. Because if you don't, those Allen key ones, I remember I had the Ragnar. I'd had it about 3 days, and I decided to put another build in it, and they'd rounded already. And I got hold of them. Steamcrave sent me a message, and I said about it because eventually I got them out. I'm lucky I had a stud removal tool, so I put a stud removal tool in, and I managed to get them out using that. And I said to her about this. I can't remember her name now, but I said to her, I said, you need to improve the metal. I said, you need to put hardened screws in so they don't end and burr over like they do. Oh, well, that would add money to the price of the product. I said, are you for fucking real? You're talking to somebody who does actually know what they're talking about. I'm telling you, the price it would cost per item, we are talking not even pennies. We're in decimal points.
I was going to say, retail, you're talking, you might add 3 pence.
Oh. Even Dave could afford it. Even Dave could afford it. It's joking apart.
Considering there were a £60 tank in the first place anyway.
Yeah.
That's probably why they used to give you so many screws, because you knew, 2 builds in, you'd have to change them all anyway.
After a conversation with her through Messenger on Facebook, do you know what she came out with? Oh, well, I understand that if you go on Amazon or somewhere, you can buy replacements. You're the manufacturer. You could offer to send me some, not say. That's a bit like going and getting your car, brand new car from the garage, it breaking down, and them saying, Oh, there's a garage up the road. They'll fix it for you if you want. Well, no, I've just bought it from you, you dopey git. No. Yeah, exactly, Stevie. It's a cop-out. And it's annoying because if you spent 60 quid on a good tank, and they are good, the quality of the vape is quite good, the flavour's good, but then I don't use mine much now because it frustrates me because every time I build on it, I'm having to replace screws and stuff in it. Or like Craig said, the top cap gets stuck on there so well, you need a hammer and chisel to get it off. Nah. And I know for a fact, like Craig is like me, Craig does not sit there and wrench it down as hard as possible.
That's the silver one.
The only way you might get that apart is to get some nylon, get a nylon jawed vice, clamp it, and you'll have to clamp it fucking tight. And then you get something rubber and then clamp that with a pair of like mole grips or something and gently try and do it like that. You might.
I mean,
but you shouldn't.
I mean, the number of times I've sliced my fingers with them.
Oh. The usual one with
those things were a godsend. Builder's gloves.
Hold on, we're still on about tanks here, Bill. Not anything else after midnight.
Yeah, right. I'm talking about
what you get up to with your Velcro.
The high grip rubber gloves.
Oh right, I thought they were your Velcro gloves for when you went out on the moors. Like
no.
All right. Okay.
No, these are the Vitrex gloves. I would have been.
Purple.
I have a couple of the Steam Crave tanks that would have been launched.
Yeah. I did that with the Ragnar. I was having trouble getting the top off the Ragnar, getting the glass part to separate from the actual base. And I put my thumb in to turn it so I could get my thumb in, get some pressure on it. And it sliced straight across the top of my nail. There's that bit of... Yes, the Ragnar did get launched. It's poor quality. People bitch about Chinese build quality, but I'm sorry. Most of the tanks I use now are Chinese, and the build quality of most of them is pretty good. I don't know why Vapors Cloud can't seem to join in on that. Because their products are good.
Steam Crave.
You mean Steam Crave, though?
Yeah. I don't know why Steam Crave can't seem to get their build quality, because they're good products in the vape, they're good products for build space and all the rest of it, but you can't seem that. I don't know. You seem to have to buy it, build it. When you eventually those coils are knackered, you might as well throw that away and just buy another tank.
Or go onto the Steam Crave website and get multiple decks and get 3 or 4 replacement decks.
Yeah, but you're talking 13, 14 quid a deck, aren't you?
Yeah.
Which you shouldn't have to do. Yeah,
Steve picked up most of my QP stuff. Cheap.
I've had the QP30, but I've had the Fatality 25. I've had the 28. And all of them have been good. And I like Bill because if Bill's shopping for something, he'll usually go, "Oh, look what I found!" So it's usually one of us will end up buying it. So, I like QP Designs. There's a couple of other. There's a couple of other manufacturers I like more than QP. There's Hive, Cloud Corporation in America, even though their stuff is made in China. But it's well made. It's really high quality stuff. Obviously, I've got the Def mods.
Yeah. Thunderhead's American, made in China. And the quality's normally been good with Thunderhead.
Yep.
Thunderhead make the blaze.
Yeah. Don't know if I've got. No, I haven't. I mean, we know Def mods make good stuff, and JD mods and people like JD mods are probably my favourite people at the minute because it's where that came from. So, not cheap, but the quality of their workmanship is good, real good. But it's one person that does all the work on those.
I say go back to Steamcrave. Their mods are shocking.
Literally. Well, you know about the LiPo, my LiPo.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't, now looking back on it, and I was thinking the other day, I was running silly wattage when we did Dave's show through personal choice. And looking back on the way that soldering was after I found out, I'm surprised that didn't fucking fuse out. I think I was quite lucky it didn't fuse.
I looked at the soldering on mine. I've not used it since.
The other one was because you've got the Hadron, the top, which the 510 on mine went, and then you had the one before that had the piggyback Squonk mod on.
The original Hadron 220 with the EV board.
Mine has got that bad. It's got that bad with 21700 batteries in it. If you pick it up now, and I've adjusted the door, I've made it as tight as possible, you can sit there and play the maracas with it. It's like clang, 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 clang as the batteries are flying about. The only way to stop it is to put a piece of tissue or something or cardboard between to hold the batteries in place. If the battery's doing that across the contacts, nah. I'm not risking that.
But then the thing is, if you think about that, what's that doing with you shaking it? What's that doing to your battery wraps?
Oh, it's definitely damaging them because I've had to redo a few battery wraps that have been in there. What worries me more is it's going to come across on that positive and it's going to go between your live and the outer casing, and it's going to make a direct short. It's a bomb, literally.
Yep.
So
that's the point where it gets launched through the window, whether it's open or not.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it is. It really is. Yeah.
But
Is there any more news on what is going on with the whole government thing with the flavour bans and so on?
No.
No, it's gone quiet again.
I think the upside of Keir Starmer's little speech and cocking the country up as well as he has at the moment. I think he's put so much stress on the government for that, because he's got a hell of a lot of sorting out to do with all of that. It's given us a bit of extra time for a little while. Although in America, there seems to be some good news coming, don't there, in America?
Yeah, it looks like in America they're starting to acknowledge the facts. It's also looking like Australia could go either way now.
Yeah, David, I will never use that mod again. It won't be used. It's a way it won't be used. You know, I'm stupid. Yes, I admit that I am stupid, but I am certainly not going to be using a mod that might go into a hard short. No, no thanks. I like my fingers on the end of my hand. You know, I prefer them here. I've always ended up with battery wraps. I've always kept battery wraps clean and tidy, especially with mechanical mods, obviously. But all of them, I'll try and, even though sometimes it's irritating when you think, oh, fuck's sake, I've got to rewrap them batteries again.
You know,
battery safety is important. We said it on Dave's show enough times.
Hiya, Gary.
Hiya, Gary.
Yeah.
I'll say it again on here, you know. With battery wraps, if you're stupid enough to put a battery wrap that's got a rip in it in a mod and use it, you're a fucking idiot. You really are. You know, or you put batteries like people were putting batteries in their pocket with change and keys. If you're that stupid, no.
You deserve the best.
Especially with the price of how cheap battery wraps are.
Come to that, how cheap batteries are, really. I mean, all right, 6 or 7 quid. Maybe for 21,700, some of them now I think have gone up to £10, some over. Right?
Yeah.
Well, what is it? So you spend 20 quid on 2 batteries, or you end up having an explosion and blowing your hand off. Well,
or having a hard shot, not realising it and setting your house on fire.
Yeah, that's very true. The amount of people I've heard of lately, and I've seen it a lot, I don't know if you guys have. Oh, I'm charging my mod off a USB cable. There's people still doing it. The problem is, Gary, is one of these batteries, that could do with changing, actually. It stains under that wrap. If that detonates, goes into thermal runaway, there is enough energy in that. If your hand was around it like that, there is enough energy for it to blow your fingers off. It will take your fingers off. That is the sort of, we're not talking you will get burnt. It will blow your fingers off.
people forget. 321 700s, I can start my car.
Your car, you could run it on 321s. No, anyway.
Well, probably.
Yes, you see, this is the trouble, Gary. Yes and no. They're a ticking time bomb if used incorrectly.
If it's used in error.
It's the same thing as, let's say, I don't know, Craig. Okay, Craig's a bus driver, coach driver, whichever prefers to be known as. That coach is a dangerous thing if it's driven by the wrong person. If it's driven by the right person, it's a perfectly safe, usable form of transport. It's the same with batteries. If they're used correctly, it's not an issue.
Thank you, Dave.
You know you loved when Dave's in, don't you?
I know. Love you too.
Oh.
But when I've got a power bank that'll start my car. It uses 618 650s.
The amount of power that those batteries can produce is scary. Especially if they're short.
The thing is, I use that power bank to start the Saab. That's not a light engine in the Saab.
No, it's not.
I can't be asked to ban you, Dave, because you're amusing me too much. You're making me laugh. Make me chuckle. So you'd just come in on a different account anyway if I banned you. It's more fun to have you in here and have a bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
They were good cars for subs. Oh no, we've started on cars. Is Stevie still in? If Stevie's in, we're fucked because he's going to start with cars. Yeah, I didn't mind Saab. Saab made some good cars. I prefer what Stevie keeps putting pictures in of Jensen. I do like Jensen. I got quite excited over that Jensen Interceptor Cabriolet.
He got all unnecessary.
I got all unnecessary and hot under the collar. I had to have a moment. It's strange how Stevie Watt started working for Jensen and then all of a sudden they went bust.
I'll be honest, Gary, I wish Saab still made cars. I had a 9.3 that was just pre the when they combined with Vauxhall and started producing the same floor pan.
It was not. It was GM, and it wasn't GM's fault. If it weren't for GM, Saab would have been royally fucked, mate. Unfortunately, GM being GM screwed it up anyway.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yes, you're not wrong there, Dave. I do like a nice body. I like old cars. I don't like modern cars. They bore me. They've all done it over the years, Lee. All of the big manufacturers, they're all as bad as each other.
Mm-hmm.
And the way cars are now, they're just a big plastic fucking mould. Every car looks fucking same to me nowadays. They're just crap. You don't really buy a car nowadays because you like the look of it. You buy it because it does a job. They do, Lee. Well, I mean, when we were growing up, it was, you could tell if it was a Capri or an Escort or if it was whatever. You could always tell. Yeah, that's exactly it, Stevie. Cars have no soul. Not like, well, you know, I mean, Jensen weren't necessarily great cars in one respect, reliability-wise. They had quite a lot of issues. But it was the look of them, the style of them. They had a certain style. The same with like Healy and all of these other people. Yes, Dave, we've moved on from the Model T.
Mm-hmm.
Proves the last time he drove a car. You know why Dave was banned from driving, don't you? You ran the bloke over in front with the red flag.
That was the second one.
I just think cars have got very, very bland and boring and soulless and just, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And EVs, yeah. Ugh. Yeah. No. Yeah, Jensen did cut a lot of corners, didn't they, Steve? They were clever what they did with a lot of their cars. You know, I mean, like the FF when they brought out the four-wheel drive system. It's brilliant. It was very clever. But my God, it was badly done. It was like they had a big V8 in there, 7-litre, what was it, Buick V8, I think. Great engine. And then they didn't really do the cooling system as well as they could have done. So it was let down by that. It was...
It's very true, Gary. There are a lot of cons to EVs.
I'll speed it up.
Particularly if you're not in a city.
I'll speed it up for you.
Mm.
Okay? An EV is crap and useless. Right, back to old cars. God, Humber. Now, they were well-built cars. What was it? The Scepter, the Snipe? There was, I can't think now, Dave. But they did. Yeah, Humber did some lovely cars. When the wood was actually wood in the car, and it was proper, you know, proper quality leather and stuff.
That's the like proper something... old school Jags.
Yep. Yep, it is. Jesus Christ.
Mm.
I mean, I know Jensen, the Interceptor was a high-end car back then. Very high-end car. Or the old Vauxhall Victor. They were nice. What about your green Vauxhall Viva, Dave?
Oh, was that the one that the wife ran him over in?
No, that was a Corsa.
Right.
If you ever want to know what the underside of a Vauxhall Corsa looks like as it's driving, just ask Dave. He's an expert on that. Apparently, it was quite a painful experience as well.
That's it. I made the mistake. I had a Viva for a while. Boy, was that a mistake.
The Green Goddess. I take it the goddess part was more of a sarcastic goddess. Oh dear. God, they were terrible. It wasn't just Vauxhall though. There were a lot of cars of that time that were bad. You're on about Mark 1 Golfs. Never really got into VWs, to be honest. You see, at the time, VW came out with the Golf, and everybody still to this day goes, they started the hot hatch. No, they fucking didn't. Sorry, no, they didn't. The hot hatches were started well before that. You know, you had things like the Vauxhall Chevette 2.3 HSRs and the Lotus Sunbeam and things like that. Those were proper.
Even some of the special edition Fiats were hot hatches.
Yeah.
In the 70s.
Oh God, now you got me thinking. You had the 131 and the 132 Mia Fiore. You had the TC 130. Peugeot, I always liked Peugeots. With 205 1.6 GTI and 205 1.9 and the 309 GTIs. Liked all of those.
Yeah, I did like the look of the 309. My brother had a 205 GTI. He had to get a mobilizer on it, otherwise he wouldn't get insured.
They were great. They were great cars. The Sunbeam Lotus, though, Stevie, that was a rapid car for its time. It was like 0 to 60 in 6.1 seconds. It's like 3 seconds quicker than the Golf. Left it for dead.
Yeah, it was.
The Peugeot 405 MI16. There's a rare car for you. What else am I trying to think of now? Just trying to think. The Citroen BX 16 GTI, which basically had the MI16 engine in. I think they only ever sold 20 or 30 of them in the UK. I don't know, cars just got... As the 90s went on, cars got very, very, very boring. Renault 5 GT Turbo?
Yeah.
They were just an accident waiting to happen.
True, they were. I mean, the Renault 5 was never that stable a car anyway.
Well, no, they took a car that wasn't very stable or very well built and just gave it like triple the power with a big turbo and hoped it would be all right. Yeah, the AMC, American Motor Corporation. Yeah. Yeah, I over the years I've had quite a few cars. More bikes than cars, but I've had quite a few cars as well. That's a nice car.
One car I drove that was good on performance, but was horrible to drive. Seat Ibiza F2 Rally Special.
Yeah.
Ex-girlfriend had one, and I used to prep it all for MLT every year. So I drove it quite a lot. But
you had a cheese wedge, Dave. Dave had a TR7. Well, you know why, don't you, Dave? Because the TR7 was made at that period of time when all the unions were out, the 3-day week, and the car industry was rapidly being destroyed by the unions in this country. The TR7 was meant to be the saviour. It was an insult to the rest of the British car industry. That's what it was.
I'd say the TR7 suffered exactly the same problem as the late Stags.
Gary, be careful here. You're saying they're vintage cars. These are the cars that I grew up driving, and most of us did, which makes us lot vintage as well. The difference was when I grew up driving those cars, they were cheap to buy. Try buying a Mark 1 Escort now. Oh God, the Princess and Ambassador. Oh my God. Hey, I might be old, Gary, but at least I've driven some nice cars. I've owned and driven some nice cars over the years. Before they wrecked the car industry and we ended up with horrible little yogurt pots with shit engines in. The Mark 1 Escort, Dave. Yeah. Gotta love a bit of Mark 1 Escort. If you don't like the old Mark 1 Escorts, there's something wrong with you.
I like the old Mark 1s, but I like the Mark 2s, particularly the rally editions of the Mark 2s. With the 2-litre Cosworth tuned engine. Really nice.
Hey, Lisa, I'm vintage and I'm still running. Not particularly well, I admit. I could do with a tune, but, you know. And I won't pass another MOT, that's guaranteed. But although unlike Dave, I don't need new tyres, you know, I've got tread left. Yeah, I know you. I remember you telling me about that, Dave. Do you know a car I always wanted, and I still love one now? Was a Ford Cortina 2000E. The original 2000E, you know, in that orange with the black I always, still to this day, love them. They had such good colours back then as well. Hey, the Davros Mobile is running well. Hey, I discovered earlier Alana mopped the kitchen floor, and because it's a tiled floor, if you get enough speed coming in the kitchen and hit the brake on it, you can handbrake turn in the kitchen. she was not impressed with the tire marks.
The tire marks on a nice clean floor, yeah.
Yeah, I got told to go and sit in the living room and watch the telly and behave.
As Alana went and polished out the tire marks from you doing the handbrake turns.
Yeah, it was one of those. Get, go! Yeah, I've seen that as well, Stevie. It is interesting watching. It's just it's sad to watch. It was the same with, of course. Pardon me. It was the same with the bike industry. We had a cracking bike industry in this country, and it was wrecked by a combination of the bike industry management didn't want to change their attitude. They didn't want to progress. Nobody needs a four-cylinder, 4-stroke engine, blah, 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 blah. They didn't want to progress, along with management and unions that were ridiculous. 60s and 70s. And it's sad because we had some real good bikes and cheap Japanese bikes, Dave. Yeah, I mean, you think about it. I mean, Dave and I have talked a lot about the bike thing, and the first, like the Fizzies, the FS1Es, and the TSs, and the SS50s, and all that. And then, of course, the real downfall was they started bringing out things like the 250 Super Dream and the 400 Super Dream, which were so fucking cheap, but they were so fucking reliable. You actually had an engine that you could go to work every day on, and it didn't drop oil everywhere all the time. It actually was a good bike.
What about the 250 LC?
I had a couple of them.
They were a good workhorse engine on those bikes.
Over the years, I've had an RD50, an RD80, RD125s, RD200 in a 125 frame that the police stopped me on, and it was a 125. You sure this is a 125? Yes, officer. There's a 200 engine in the 125 frame, but he didn't notice. It was just, I don't know. It just we fucked ourselves over with the bike industry, really.
I had a Fizzy that I stuck the 80cc conversion kit on. That made a difference.
Dave was one of those hooligans that were going round the Trafford Centre on his FS1E. That's the thing, though, Stevie. They were cheap and they were reliable. Japanese bikes.
Yeah.
And if you read some of what was said at the time, the British bike industry, people were saying, well, why are people going to want Japanese bikes? What's wrong with our British bike? Our British bikes are best in the world. Well, they're cheaper, they're reliable, the parts are cheaper, they're better made. But of course, British bike industry, being as it was at the time, couldn't see it. Have you seen the price of the FS1Es now, Dave? Seriously, don't go and look up the price. I looked up the other day. I was looking like we did a few times. There was an FS1E DX that had been restored immaculately, complete rebuild, complete engine, beautiful, in the yellowy orange with the metal flake. Perfect, original exhaust, the lot. 10,500. It's enough to make you cry now when you look back at what they're going for.
I paid 50 quid for my FS1A.
You won't get one for 50 quid now.
That was on a P plate, which meant the problem came in with the S registration when they had to be restricted to 30 miles an hour.
Yep.
That's why I loved having the one on the P plate, because I could do 80 mile an hour. And I wasn't breaking the law.
Oh, the Z900s, Dave, you're talking anywhere from, because as you know, it's one of my, the A1 and B1 are one of my favourite bikes of all time. You're looking anywhere from 25,000 up for an immaculate one there. You know, it is, the price has gone through the roof.
So I looked up the price of an NS400R.
You still get those.
Jesus, what, they were over 30,000.
Yeah. Yes, we know you learned to fly on yours and move a Volvo. That'll teach you to try and wheelie out of corners. Vale Onslow. Vale Onslow, is that the guy who had his bike collection at his house, Stevie? He had his bike collection. I'm sure it's the same guy. He had his bike collection at the house, and he'd had a lot of race bikes there. It's the guy I'm thinking of. Yeah, you got one right. I did when I had my accident too, Dave. I had a helicopter. I can think of easier ways to get a ride on a helicopter, though, Dave, than crashing. There are better ways, believe it or not. Less painful ones as well. Well, you and me are both fucking knackered now. Fucking crashing.
So there was one bike I always tried to
get.
Yeah. My old boss in his younger days had been a bike racer. He had a 250 triple 1972 Yamaha 2-stroke. And the bike was at the back of the workshop, carefully covered over, and I tried many times to get that bike off him. He wasn't going to part with it.
I'll be perfectly honest.
That bike now is probably worth the better part of 40,000.
Yeah. Evel Knievel's bikes were just fucking Harleys, and I'll leave it there with Harley. I'll just leave it that, yes, they were Harleys. Now, Stevie, yes, I have seen the prices, the Black Shadows, the Black Prince.
Yeah.
That's the guy. I knew what. Yeah, I've met him. Yeah, I met him many years ago. Yeah, I thought I knew that name, Val Onslow. Yeah. Yes. Bless him. Yeah, because I remember I saw an interview. Oh, it was a long while ago, but it was an interview with his daughter. She was on about the collection. He had a hell of a fucking collection. Seriously, he had some nice stuff. It's about time Lee got his bike back on the road. Instead of leaving it in the shed, poor bike.
Mm.
Yeah, the price of Vincent's now. Oh. Well, he needs to, Lisa. It's no good leaving it in the shed to just rot away. You know, it's the summer weather. He could have been using it, and you could have gone to all these nice places on the bike, days out on the bike. You know. So we're going to get on bike camera footage. It's going to be like Joey Dunlop round the Isle of Man TT, just a bit slower. If you put it on double speed, it'll be great.
Yeah, it looks like Joey Dunlop.
Get it sorted over the winter.
Mm.
You'll be ready for next year then. As long as you're enjoying riding, that's the main thing, Lee. Enjoy it. Believe me. I wish I still had a bike.
That's the one thing that I wish I could still do. Osteoporosis and riding don't combine.
Mm.
Just the wind pressure at any speed would cause too much pressure in that against the helmet. I haven't got the neck strength anymore.
Yes, Lee. Yes, I know you like a good seeing the countryside go by. It'd be all right, Lee. When you and Lisa come over on the bike. Come bring the bike over on the ferry. It'd be cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
I do miss riding a bike. I really do.
Yeah, I miss riding. That's why I keep looking at the NS400s again, because that was my favourite bike because it was so responsive. And good for about 145.
Yeah. Yes, I've seen that they're doing replicas of the SS100s and SS80s with the Jap engine in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's Jap as in JAP, not Jap as in Japanese, by the way. Is the old age creeping up now, is it, like? Just this time, if it happens and you fall off leash, make sure we get a picture of you like on the floor like an upturned turtle.
Well, you could get panniers.
Oh, yeah.
It depends
if
how
you
much.
keep looking at the Vulcan, you'd actually be better looking at the Pan Euro.
I know Lee was on about he wanted something a bit more cruisery. Because
the Pan Euro's in that midpoint between the two, isn't it? It's a nice bike to ride as well.
They're all right. They're all right. CBR 600 they've been good and reliable over the years. CBRs.
Yeah.
I think my brother had a CBR 600. Yeah.
So the thing with the CBR 600, it had the manners of the Fireblade, but the economy of a much smaller bike, because fuel economy on them was outstanding.
I always found CBR 600 a bit boring, you know. But
I didn't say it had the power. I said it had the manners.
Yeah. It's another one of those opinion things, isn't it? It's I'm sorry, Lisa. I can't help it. It's just classic. I still say Lee did it on purpose. I'll be honest with you, Stevie. I hate Harley Davidson. I think they're the most overpriced piles of shit on the planet. I just don't like Harleys. They're overpriced. They're badly built, and if you take them out in the rain, you're guaranteed it's going to fall to bits. Do not like Harley. Do not like them. I understand people liking Cruise, that style of bike. I get that. Yeah, you still get sports bike, cruising bikes, Dave, touring bikes. You know, there's still quite a lot about. I see a lot of them over here. And there's some really nice stuff out there now. Dare I say, even some nice BMW touring bikes. I must be getting old to say that.
What about a Moto Guzzi 850 California? They were
Don't know whether-
cruising back.
I don't know whether I'd have that, but I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Guzzis. I don't know what it is about them, or just because they're so different.
Yeah. And that's fucked off.
Hmm. Yeah, the power
Wasn't
cut.
me.
Oh. Needs to put 50p in the meter. There's the light blowing. Yeah, you're back.
Yeah. Can you hear me still, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a P break. It was a power cut.
Jesus.
So, okay, we're back. Either that or somebody's at a telegraph pole down the road again. No, it wasn't a P break, you lot. It's getting that way, but I don't need a Dave yet. Yeah, but Moto Guzzies I like. There's a lot of bikes that I've liked over the years. Just it's always price.
Yeah, Guzzies weren't cheap.
Nope.
It's like the other one I always loved is Levadas.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're solid bikes, but they're definitely designed for performance.
They're also not in business anymore.
True.
Unfortunately.
That's it, which is a big shame.
Owing to the world economy.
But a lot of the Levadas are still on the road that have been on the road for the last 30 years.
Yeah. Right, it is coming up to 2 o'clock. Or 2 hours, I should say. If it was coming up to 2 o'clock, I'd be more worried. Shall we call it? Oh, for fuck's sake, Dave. Czechoslovakian fucking Poles. Why don't you just go the whole hog, Dave, and get a Ural?
Oh, God, no.
Ex-Russian military sidecar outfit and bike. I swear they were made out of old tanks. God, they were. Did about 50 mile an hour flat out if you were lucky. But the sidecar
that's what Lee could get. Which would actually mean that all the luggage can go in the sidecar and then Lisa wouldn't fall off the back.
And then if Lee does fall asleep while riding, it'll be all right. Because he wouldn't be going fast enough to hurt himself.
I said one of the problems with those Urals, though, was the sidecar used to fall off.
No. Well, you had to make sure the pin was in, but they actually had a powered. The sidecar wheel was powered.
Yeah, but that pin used to come out, and it just pulled the shaft straight out.
Yeah. Shall we call it a night as it's 2 hours still?
Yeah, I guess so.
And Pickle Dick, Rick, or Tyler, it doesn't appear to be.
He must be enjoying himself at the Pickle Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Do you know what? I cannot think of anything worse.
Make of that what you will. We'd never ban you, Dave.
No, couldn't ban you.
I'd put you in time out for like just to irritate you, but
Yeah, but it's only worth putting you in time out if Lee was in.
Yeah. And Stevie, if you need a chat about anything, you know what I mean, just let us know, mate.
Yeah, I hope everything goes okay for you on Tuesday, Steve.
Yeah, good luck for Tuesday, mate.
Right, whoever wants to start doing the goodbyes, away you go, Tyler. Oh no, he's not here.
He's not in.
No.
All right,
I'll go then.
Go on then.
Craig?
Yeah, I'll go then. Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. Thank you, Dave. Always a pleasure to see you and hope you're okay. Don't forget, everyone, the group is there if anyone's struggling. Always usually one of us around if need be. Just to vent, we're always around. Hope everyone has a good week and hope to see you again next week. And I'll pass that on to Bill.
Cheers, Craig. All I can do is echo what Craig just said. I hope everybody has a really good week. And don't forget the group's there. There is always somebody about within reasonable time. And we can open a room up anytime if anybody needs to talk. We're not exclusive about it. If anybody,
even if it's even Dave,
even Dave,
yeah,
I'm not going to exclude Dave. We can soon enough open a room if anybody needs to talk. And I hope Tyler's having fun at the Pickle Festival.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell a Pickle Festival is.
I think something dodgy.
Hopefully he'll tell us next week how it was.
Well, yeah, hopefully. Well, no, I'm not sure about that. Might not be something we want to know about. Well, not during the show anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a good week, everybody. And over to you, Matt.
That's not good, Dave. That's bad news, mate. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Sorry to hear that, Dave.
It's as we said, yeah, we're always about somewhere. So if anybody needs a chat, just give us a call, give us a shout. Stevie, I hope all goes well for your eye operation, which I think it will be absolutely fine. If you need to talk about the other stuff, anytime, just let us know. As for Tyler, he will probably make an appearance next week and fill us all in on what the outcome of his pickle was. And did his pickle get battered or not? The things that are going on in my head are scary.
He's going to Scotland.
He's got a battered pickle.
Well,
I'm sure we will have all the news from his pickle festival. Only America would have a festival for fucking pickles. I mean, honestly. But anyway, so yeah, I hope everybody has a good week. Until then, be nice to each other, you know, and we shall catch you all next week.
Yeah. See you later, guys.
Bye.
Keep waving. Keep waving.